10 terrible lies you were taught in school. Growing up and going to school, you probably believe that most of what you were taught in school was true, if not all, and that the events recounted to you actually happened in the exact way your teachers explained them. Ever heard of this famous saying by Mark Twain? Don't let school interfere with your education? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but some of these things you were taught in school were not true, and the events didn't exactly happen as they were described to you. Your teacher probably thought that explaining the things to you in detail will make it too complicated for your little brains to understand. Some of your teachers perhaps didn't know that some of the information they were giving out was untrue. So what are some of the biggest fibs you were told during your school years? Here are 10 lies you were taught in school that you believed then and probably still do now. Lie number 1. Different tastes are detected on different parts of the tongue. Did you ever eat something and think it tastes less sour on one part of your tongue? I was taught in schools that different parts of the tongue detect bitter taste, sour taste, sweet taste, and salty taste. A tongue map was even drawn up in 1901 to explain this. Wrong. The entire surface of the tongue equally detects different taste, whether it's sweet, salt, bitter, or sour. It's actually a protein on the tongue that detects the taste of something sour. Lie number 2. Humans evolved from chimpanzees. Every single one of us was taught in school with those little pictures describing how the apes went from one stage of evolution until it became a man. You will go to a zoo on excursions and you watch your so-called genetic ancestors frolicking and flinging poop at each other. But that's not the way it happened. After all, evolution works by eliminating the inferior species, while the stronger, better adapted ones survive. If that had happened then, there wouldn't be any apes left because we would have outsmarted them. While it's true that humans share a common ancestor with chimpanzees, the two species actually formed two separate lineages. The two different species formed separately over 6 million years ago. We're in the same taxonomic family and share a common ancestor, but anyone who says humans evolved from monkeys is very wrong. Lie number 3. Diamonds came from coal. Do you believe that diamonds are made from coal? Don't worry, so does everyone else, because that's what your teachers taught you. While it's true that diamonds are formed from carbon by intense heat of 2000 degrees Fahrenheit and high pressure, it's very unlikely that the carbon comes from coal. So the idea that a lump of coal can become a beautiful diamond paints a pretty picture. It's still one big spoonful of lies. Diamonds are found in vertical shafts in the Earth's mantle, filled with rocks carried up by volcanic eruptions. Coal is mainly found among other types of rocks like limestone and shale on the surface of the Earth. They are almost never found in the same environment at all. Imagine that. Lie number 4. Bats are blind. For those that were taught biology, you might have gone through classes where your teacher told you that bats are blind. This is very untrue. The fact is, bats can actually see objects, but they don't use their eyes as their primary sense to position those objects. Instead, they use biological sonar to locate things in their surroundings. This is done by locating things through the echo of their sound. So if you end up in a cave full of bats and you think you want to run quietly, remember this: they can still see you 3 times better than you can, in fact. Lie number 5. Chameleons blend with camouflage. You may have seen this little green creature on the National Geographic Channel or in a textbook in school, but your teachers will tell you that a chameleon uses camouflage to blend in with their surroundings to hide from their predators. Absolutely wrong. In fact, the real reason chameleons change color is to control their body temperature and to express their mood. That's cool, huh? As you can guess, darker colors absorb more light, so they'll change to a lighter color to stay cool. In terms of emotion, they'll darken their shade when they are scared and brighten when they're excited. Isn't that just adorable? Lie number 6. Napoleon was a short man. Does the term Napoleon complex ring a bell? The term is used to describe a short person who possesses a domineering nature and is overly aggressive to compensate for his or her short stature. In school, you were probably taught that this saying came about because Napoleon was a short man, because he was said to have been 5 feet 2 inches tall. The truth is that Napoleon wasn't short. His height was indicated in French inches, which are actually longer than the English inches. His actual height was 5 feet 7 inches, and this is in no way a short man's height. Lie number 7. The classic tale of Isaac Newton and how he discovered gravity. Were you taught in the story in physics class about the apple which fell from the tree and onto Isaac Newton's head, and how he went on to discover the theory of gravity? Well, the truth was an apple was involved, but the revelation didn't come to him because of one hitting him on the head. He did see one fall from a tree in 1687, which made him wonder why apples fall straight to the ground instead of sideways. It's still a cool story though. Lie number 8. No gravity in space. Another common lie taught in schools is that there is no gravity in space. It has been taught that everything and astronauts in space float. This is not true because there is gravity everywhere, including space. The only difference is that the gravity in space is weaker than it is on Earth. The gravity in space is responsible for keeping the moon in orbit around the Earth and the planet in orbit around the sun. When you see objects in space appearing as they are defying gravity, you need to understand that these objects are in a state of free fall. Lie number 9. Ben Franklin discovered lightning by flying a kite and a key. The story that Benjamin Franklin discovered lightning while he was flying a kite with a metal key attached to it during a storm is another fib taught to you in school. It was on June 10, 1752 that Franklin supposedly performed his famous kite and key experiment. According to the story, the kite he was flying was struck by lightning and electricity traveled through the string to the key, and the charge was collected in a Leyden jar, leading to his discovery. It hasn't been proven that this actually happened. Modern scientists have come to discover that if Franklin had performed the experiment as described, Franklin would have been struck dead on the spot. In his 1752 article, Franklin claimed one could touch the key and feel a spark. However, that much charge would have scorched his insides. Other historians also believe his original statement may have been misinterpreted, and instead of getting hit by lightning, the kite had only picked up ambient electric charge. Franklin was just lucky that his kite never received a direct hit. Lie number 10. Deoxygenated blood is blue. Have you ever looked closely at the inside of your wrist or elbow to see a small network of blue veins running up into your head? In school, you were taught that deoxygenated blood is blue, while blood leaving the heart is red because it's been filled with fresh oxygen. But if you've ever given blood or had blood taken at the doctor's office, you'll see that it's not some blue alien liquid filling up that injection. It's blood. The reason your veins look blue is a simple trick of the light and the way your eyes perceive colors. Light is refracted by pigmentation and thin fat layers on our skin, which then reflects back to our eyes and gives blood a bluish look. An albino person will usually have red veins because of the lack of pigmentation in their skin. However, blood is definitely red. I am sure you were able to learn at least one thing from this list of lies you were taught in school. As Isaac Newton once said, To myself, I am only a child playing on the beach, while vast oceans of truth lie undiscovered before me. Thank you for watching our videos. We'd like to give you another interesting video for you to enjoy next. But before then, our team will be very happy if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Look at your screen now to see 2 other videos we handpicked for you to enjoy next. We love you.